We get to talk hockey here on BT. Kelly Hrudey joining us once again this morning. We're not talking Flames hockey or anything like that. We're talking about your new book. The new book's called Calling the Shots, full of hockey stories about Kelly's time on the ice and, of course, now off the ice. Great stories in and around. I was just telling you behind the scenes, Kelly, you and Kirsty McClelland-Day did a great job laying this out. It's a real fun, captivating page-turner sometimes.
Thank you.
When you're getting
That's
into
cool
the stories.
To hear. Yeah.
I always like to ask it, I mean, when you do something like this, I always wonder why. Like, is it because you want your girls to know about these stories, or maybe your future grandkids? Like, why write it now?
You know why? I don't know. I've been asked many times over the years to write it, and I think the timing for me was just right. It was more about the age that I am now. I'm going to be 57 in January, and I think when you look back and you have the perspective of time, and I've been often, going out public speaking and telling my stories and stuff, and so I think that I just want to share some stories. And what was really great working with Kirsty's, because we didn't know the direction that we were going when we started the book.
You just started discussing,
yes,
chatting, okay.
Chatting, exactly.
Yeah.
And then she was like, well, you know what? The theme is, it's all about your relationships with people. And that's what it really is. That's what the book's about. It's not a tell-all. It's not I'm going to get even.
Yeah.
Although there is conflict in the book.
Oh, sure there is.
Which there has to be, because I played 17 years, 15 in the NHL. I didn't get along with everybody. You can't. So
I think it would be impossible when you're playing at that level of sport, for sure. It's funny you mentioned the word relationships, because that was what I took away for sure. And did that just come out naturally for you? Like, I mean, we have video, of course, of all your years playing hockey that we can roll right here. I mean, but did it come out for you, like, naturally, the relationships? Was it just from all the time on the planes and the buses and on the ice and practicing in the dressing room? Is that kind of what forged it, or?
I believe so. I think when I really look at my life and so on, it is about the people I've met, how I've interacted with them, what our relationship is, and you can see from the video how terrible I was.
Oh, come on. You didn't embellish anything, right?
I was good at embellishing.
The stacking of the pads back then was a big deal, right? Yeah.
And look how tiny I was. But, getting back to the book, it's just about, for me, I met so many great people that really positively influenced my life. People like Al Arbor. I talk a lot about Al, not only in the book, but in my personal life. I think about the lessons that Al taught me, because they were all sort of related to my family and how we grew up in Edmonton, and the beautiful family that we had, and the lessons I learned from my mom and dad and my older brothers. So it's all in the book. It's all, to me, it was very emotional. I don't know if...
Well, yeah, I could see that.
Right?
I could sense that, I should say.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, you're reflecting on kind of what defined you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so Kirsty would meet, she and I would meet for about an hour and a half, and then you get exhausted. You're like, oh, you're telling everything. And then there's a thing in there that I really wanted to come clean about mental health and so on, because our youngest daughter, Caitlin, is a great advocate. She speaks often about her struggles.
Yes.
And I don't know what I had. I just know that there's an episode that I had in Milwaukee. It was a neutral site game back in 92, 93. Okay. Happened to be the same year that we went to the finals, but earlier in the year, or in December, so I was a lost person. Like, I was the weakest guy on the planet, and I had this episode one night.
You called it a crisis of confidence, and you said that your wife Donna had no idea about this.
She had no idea until I was writing the book. It was something that was sitting inside me forever, and I had never shared it. I was embarrassed, I guess.
Sure.
And finally, I thought, Kirsty, if I'm really going to be honest, and Ron MacLean also in his book, Cornered, shared something about something that he went through, and I know his wife, Carrie, was unaware as well.
Yeah.
So it was quite easy when I had Caitlin and Ron, people that I love in my life, and that they were willing to open up, and I thought, I might as well share this. I don't think I could have shared it at the time, because I couldn't have had my teammates know that I was that weak. But now, in hindsight, it was pretty easy.
Pretty easy. And that's a pretty good takeaway, too.
Right?
That, you know what, you can have the courage, you can come through with certain things. And that, you know what, I think almost every human being, I'm willing to argue, has something like this happen in their life.
Ted, you're so right. So the numbers would tell you that it's 1 in 5.
Yeah.
I think it's far greater.
Higher,
far greater than that,
Well, Kelly Hrudey,
cool.
Kelly Hrudey, a pleasure as always.
Thanks, Ed.
Thank you so much for sharing. We barely scratched the surface, by the way, regarding the stories in here. The book's called Calling the Shots, Ups, Downs, and Rebounds, My Life in the Great Game of Hockey. It's on sale right now. Check it out.